We've learned a lot from this pandemic. The supply chain demand shifted because of stay-at-home orders and closures of restaurants. The inventory and supply demands of food service were significantly reduced because of that. And the demand of retail grocery stores surged initially and then leveled back off. I see the industry moving to a more digital, traceable food system. This type of food system will increase transparency and resiliency of the supply chain and enable quicker reaction, helping us to anticipate and prepare us to address the kinds of supply chain imbalances that we've seen with COVID-19. I'm not saying that there was a shortage of food. That wasn't the case. Food was going into areas for food service that didn't have the demand, and we needed to be able to maneuver that and get that to where food was needed. I also see e-commerce growing as more and more consumers order online that is delivered right to their door. We've been considering what steps need to be taken to ensure the safety of those food products and how they're packaged and how they're transported. And we feel RPCs fit well into this model. The pandemic and consumers sheltering in place has certainly increased online shopping. I don't see that trend reversing completely when the crisis has passed. And so as an industry, we need to be prepared for that. The other thing that is interesting is, we talk about the environmental viability of this virus and the transmission being really person to person. Well, contact tracing is going to be an area of focus I see in the future. Currently, we have contact tracing tools that are being evaluated, looking at the proximity sensing technologies that preserve personal privacy as part of the solution. Not sure that this will be something that's mandated across the industry, but it's being looked at by health authorities globally as a way to improve contact tracing, meaning somebody that comes back positive, who have they come in contact with, so we can isolate those populations, make sure those people are okay. There are some testing programs being put into place where they're looking at smart wristbands that alarm when you're too close, within 6 feet or 2 meters, and records everyone at that worker that's wearing that wristband may have come in close contact with and the amount of time that they had that close proximity. That means the employees would all need to be wearing these smart wristbands. It's something new that's being looked at. The other thing, because we talked about, the virus and survivability on surfaces, there's still more needs to be learned about that. And the industry is looking at potentially adding the SARS-CoV-2, which is the virus that causes the COVID-19 disease, as being included in the food industry sampling programs. We're looking into this topic in more detail. And traditionally, we look at sanitation as a way to prevent foodborne illness, not so much around employee health or safety at work. But I could see viruses like the SARS-CoV-2 becoming part of an environmental monitoring program to ensure that the focused sanitation efforts that we have in place are effective. More research needs to be done because we want to make sure there's value for the industry.